morning, y'all. Let's get it in. Got a few minutes. Whew. Okay. Got my, I was able to beat the sun this morning. I got out like 7, about 10 minutes after 7 this morning, so the sun hadn't completely come out yet, so I was able to keep a jog going. It was a nice little breeze, so it was damn near perfect. And so the sun is trying to come out a little bit, so it give me a chance to do my cool downs, stroll and talk to y'all as I do my cool down. Let's see if y'all are up with me. I'll talk and y'all just kind of catch up. So anyway, let me do a little housekeeping here. Good morning, and welcome to my YouTube channel, my Facebook page of Rico the Opinionist. And if you hadn't found out yet, well, it kind of got past you, I have this short story that's always for sale if you'd like to check it out. It's basically a story of when I accidentally found out about my actual biological father at 22 years old, but I didn't get a chance to, I didn't meet him in person until the age of 39. And during all the course between 22 and 39, we spoke on the phone a few times, as in the short story, but he never wanted to meet. And so when I knocked on his door, December 25th, 2008, around 4:35 p.m., he came out, but I looked up, addresses and stuff, and I had like 5 addresses that I wanted to check out, and he came to the door, like, oh, hey, blah, blah, blah. And he asked me, so how did you find me? And I told him, well, Google Maps, MapQuest, blah, blah, blah. He said, well, I have to give you an A for effort because I've worked aggressively over the years to prevent you from ever finding me. So, the title of the book, the short story is The Greatest Pain I've Ever Felt. Conversation with my absent biological father who never wanted to be found. And so, it's only $10, Cash App, Rico the Opinionist, Opinionist. And if you decide to hit me with the Cash App, please include an email address. Because the story is in a PDF form, so I can just email it to you as soon as I receive your payment. Cool. I have a topic this morning that may throw some folks off as if that's something new to me. But I'm going to say it, just like I've said everything else, unapologetically. But first, let me do this really quick. I talked about black men and trauma on my last video. And I mentioned professional football player Richard Sherman, and this morning, I guess they're leaking the footage of the doorbell camera when he was slamming his body against the door like, hey, come on, come see me, come on. So that door slamming has a purpose. Or he was trying to knock the door down and everybody's screaming, And so we'd like to know what went on. Why was he yelling for that father? Why was he so upset? And yes, I believe in asking questions when it comes to black men's behavior. Not always, just acting like, well, they're inherently violent, they're inherently angry. I don't play those games with our boys and our men. Again, this guy's been out in the public for years. Clean image, even for all we know, clean home image. And all of a sudden now there's a breakdown. Are we gonna fall for this? So like it's something like, like Popeye used to say, Popeye the Sailor, that's all I can stand, and I can't stand no more. And he hit that can of spinach and started whooping ass. Well, what was it? Or is it a case of that's all I can stand and I can't stand anymore? Is that a case there with Richard Sherman? We need to pose these questions and And always be mindful of how the media puts stuff out there. And I have yet to read. I'll read some more today or look around to see if he's been released from jail yet. As of yesterday, reading in the news, he was still being held without bond, and I don't understand that. But he was really pissed in that video. But that little clip, so we're not going to do that, all right, y'all? Let's find out what's going on with this brother. And let's ask these questions and allow him to tell his side. So, but anyway, you know, if y'all know me, y'all know I've been hard on feminists. And in the last years has been mainly zooming in on the black feminists. They said, Rico, why the black ones? Because the black ones live next door to us. The black ones are laying in the bed next to us. The black ones are in our classrooms at college. The black ones, some of them gave birth to us. So that's why I'm on them. See, you know, we can focus on the enemy far and wide, but the one who takes us out quicker is the enemy that's right up under us. So I try to deal with stuff that's right there that's actually causing us harm right every day. You know how so many of us try to avoid the drug dealers and the gang members and the black rappers? See, these are the people who are actually doing us harm. Got it? And black feminists, beginning in the mid to late 60s, with the Nikki Giovanni's and all those folks, they began this anti-male tirade, black male misandry. Shout out to Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. And I can't stand the black feminists. I can't stand them. But in the beginning, Derek, what's up, brother? In the beginning, you know, black feminists, you were thinking they were talking about something, and it sounded like they were talking about something that was bringing the family together, and they were in support of black men. Then you have these little CIA agents named Angela Davis going in and infiltrating the Black Panthers and coming out all she had number mud to slang on them. The sexist, the misogyny, the sexism, the patriarchy. But you weren't saying that we throwing your fist in there on behalf when you getting your glory and you were getting your spotlight while you was with the Panthers. You know, it's funny how black men are everybody's utilities. And when you get done with black men, you go over to the other side and talk about how dumb and stupid, violent, sexist black men are. We're not doing that. And any black men don't understand what feminism is, you need to take your ass to school or open up a book or pay attention to the language of feminism and feminists. See, white women started that crap because they were angry at white men. And then all of a sudden, they needed numbers, like for political offices and numbers for like to get on boards and all that, so they recruited black women, snatched their hand away from the black man's hand during the civil rights movement. Because if you look at all the pictures, black men and black women walking hand in hand, husband and wife, colleague to colleague. Was intoxicated and threatened to kill himself during a confrontation with family members before his arrest. Yeah, I read that yesterday, Ernie. Good morning, sir. And so, and all of a sudden now, they decide to sign their contract, went right over there with these white women, the same women, if they want to talk about how black women are so oppressed. Who is oppressing y'all? And I'm going to get to the story in a minute. I just want to give this little background why I can't stand these damn black feminists. And then guess what? They're the least married. See, black women who are feminine, who like black men, they got husbands. They got them. These so-called, I have my law degree, I have my bachelor's degree, I'm a business owner. They don't have no man. They got a woman. And when they get, and those black feminists are, ask them what God is, a black feminist. And when a black woman who yells, no, the patriarchy, the sexism, the misogyny. Just listen to the language. They sound like robotic dumbasses. And they're alone and angry and drink plenty of whiskey. Those are ones you can easily screw because they get so tired of their own lives. All you gotta do is fill them up with liquor and you can run trains on them broads. Because they're going against their nature as feminine women. See, white women, the same white woman that she's sided with is the same woman that when she found out that the plantation owners were back there raping her, not like they was in love, she beat her ass. Had her whipped. Killed the baby that came out of her body. most of the times. But most of the plantation owner babies or mulatto babies made it. It was her Mandingo babies that didn't make it. The Mandingo didn't make it, and the baby didn't make it. So, and I don't understand these PhDs, black women don't understand that history. It lets me know they stopped reading history. All they read is what's called feminist theory. And they're getting further away from humanity and further away from family, further away from their own men. And finally, they act like white men are just scooping them up. Keep on, as like Johnny Taylor say, keep on looking, baby, and soon you'll see. See, I don't think black feminists even listen to blues. Yeah, you trying to get a woman that don't listen to blues, you might have a problem on your hands, brother. Yeah, I said it. So, but those black feminists, you go to the clubs, they 21 to 34 years old. I have my college degree, I have my bachelor's degree. I have my law degree, I'm studying to be a doctor. And nobody's upset with sisters having careers. It's the mindset of anti-man. How you gonna be anti-man when the world was created for men and women coming together? It's weird. It's, and someone said, well, there's some dudes out there that's anti-woman. Well, we still survive though. Those men still survive. It's not natural for women to be alone because they turn into dudes. Y'all have heard this. Listen to the manosphere. They'll tell you all this shit. So anyway, and they're the main ones who jump on board trying to, use the very racist stereotypes to place black men, not in general, but damn near all, into this sexual aggressive box, or this angry aggressive box, and they're the most angriest broads on the planet. So that's what I'm saying. Damn, a black feminist. And the ones that you see that's yelling all that Dr. Brittany Cooper crap, what's that, Brittany, what's her name? I think it's Dr. Brittany Cooper, no, Job of the Pizza Hut. Brittany, what's that? Is that her name? Then you got this old hag, Deborah Cooper, and all. There's some other ones, but these are the ones that try to have so many negative things to say about black men. And one of them got bacon grease for perfume, and the other one got cobwebs between her, what. So get out of here. And those are the women who are jealous of young, fine women. Young, fine women, don't listen to these old hoes. They jealous because you still perky. You still tender and juicy. And guess what? When they was young and perky and tender and juicy, they let a whole lot of dudes squeeze and take a drink. You hear me? So young pretty women, don't listen to these old hoes. A lot of them are not very nice. They're over the hill. They've hit the wall and they're mad. Don't listen to them because they're not teaching. Because you want to see an older woman who's doing what she's supposed to do, she'll be teaching you against these terrible little rap chicks. City Girls, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Erica Banks. All these know the ones. I'm just naming the ones that they've given to Black Doll and all this kind of stuff. Just a bunch of thug, hooligan, trampy stuff. And when it's about to start blowing, I hope it doesn't kill my voice. So anyway, and what I'm about, let me do this disclaimer, because I usually don't do that, because I don't want to be misconstrued in what I'm about to say. I am a proponent of survivors of sexual assault. I am a supporter of them. And why do we say, when we say survivors of sexual assault, we just act like the movie Antoine Fisher wasn't even real. We're always thinking it's women. Black boys are sexually assaulted damn near every month by men and women, and nobody says a damn thing, but we put this out here, survivors of sexual assault. And it's always implied or always given the face of girls and women. Well, am I the only one who lives in 2021? Y'all using those old statistics and those old lies? Yeah. Why do you think a lot of these boys act the way they act? And I've been in the field of substance abuse and mental health treatment for over 20 years. Y'all don't think I've run across several young men who've been sexually assaulted? Hence why they're on drugs, hence why they're doing a lot of these self-sabotaging things. But every time I look around, no, the focus should be on the women and the girls. No, that's not fair. Because mental health does not see gender. You always keep bad mental health, emotional distraught, trauma does not see race, does not see gender, does not see socioeconomic status. But they want us always to just focus on the girls. And they deserve focus just like the boys. So every time they want to talk about sexual assault, goddamn it, go read the book or watch the movie Antoine Fisher. And his assaulters were all women. Verbal assaulters, physical assaulters, and sexual assaulters were women, black women. Oh, but yet the feminists don't read. They don't watch these movies. So lately, every time you look around, Dr. Cosby's name comes up. Well, I mean, it can't help but come up. But let me tell y'all what I guess was really tricking me to do this. All right, y'all ready? I was watching a live last night, and shout out to the brother who owns Urban Intellectuals. Shout out to that brother. And this is in no way still a slight towards him or anything else. However, I saw he did an apology video about something he really had nothing to do with. But I guess as a business owner, you want to try to smooth things out when you got a bunch of whiners and a bunch of blackmailers, no pun intended. A bunch of people who try to emotionally hold you hostage or even hold you responsible for something you had nothing to do with. And so he was offering an apology, a disclaimer, like, he was saying, I apologize, because I think he had the topic of something about Dr. Cosby on one of his pages. He put it up there, and the people in the chat, they were having conversations back and forth. I guess the losers of the conversation will start yelling, "I feel traumatized," and "How dare you," blah, 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 and traumatized, "You're not supporting victims," and you explaining all kinds of mess. I was like, dude, come on, man, don't give in to the liberal left. Don't cave into that, man. You have nothing to apologize for. Like he said, I wasn't in the chat. I didn't do anything, but there were people, he said they were having conversations in his chat, and there were people who were feeling hurt. I'm like, it's chat. People get in chats. People have been on my posts going at it. I didn't feel responsible because people got into it and feelings were hurt. Hell, they volunteered to have a conversation. But I understand what he said. So, and it's not the first time I've heard something like that. Let's start with Felicia Rashad. The first thing they did, I told y'all, they tried to change the narrative. You can't have an opinion about any goddamn thing. And when she celebrated her friend, her TV partner in crime, his release, now all of a sudden they made it seem like that she didn't support victims of sexual assault. And first of all, that's very presumptuous, you assholes. How dare you? Like y'all were there. He sexually assaulted those women. All you saw was white media putting this man's face all over. Y'all remember the OJ thing when they darkened his face on the cover of Time magazine? See, I may not say nothing about a lot of stuff, but goddamn, I remember just like y'all do. But your memory is very convenient to you, only to you. No, history is supposed to be looked at in its totality. So, you're going to get your ass in these people's chats, trying to make them feel bad. And then here's the part that was like the kicker to me. Again, no disrespect to this brother at all. He's doing a great thing. Urban Intellectuals, they sell cards, books about African-American history, and also stuff to teach children about African-American history. He's doing a great thing. And it just really bothered me that he felt the need to have to come out and apologize for that. He didn't have to apologize for what they did. Those people are grown. They had the conversation between each other, and I guess some whiners came out. I don't like that. You should shut it down. And my feelings are hurt because they don't sound very supportive because they bought the narrative to hate Dr. Cosby. And they trying to make Dr. Cosby the face of sexual assault. Y'all saw the pictures. How many black women were in there? Because my thing is, why black women all in this shit? And and none of his accusers were black. And some silly chick gonna say, well, one of them was half black. Which one was that? Half black is not black. And I told y'all we're gonna have to go back to 8th grade biology to find out what black is. It's called biracial. A whole. You ever hear white folks say, they was half white? No, white people don't believe in white. Or any other group, half Asian. No. But that doesn't make them Asian because they're half Asian. That doesn't make them white because they're half white. White people don't play that. We play these fool games without genetics. They'll just be defining what black is, what biracial is. No slight against anybody. And so we need to keep things in perspective. But sisters have this bad habit. They claim anything, claim anything. They ain't gotta do is have a fingernail and, yo, she black, she black. And then soon that person who is biracial does something they don't like, all of a sudden now they want to disinvite her to the cookout. So anyway, they on there whining and talking shit. And so my brother, he felt the need to apologize. Now here's the part I was getting to that really kind of threw me off. He said he had employees that he hired in his company that said were feeling some type of way about it. I like, what? How dare they? Do you think they would go to a white boss and complain about, I don't like what's going on in your chat room? You know, shit. Cause all I was thinking, sir, fire all of them. How dare they? You can't confront me about my shit. You volunteered. That a lot of my employees felt uncomfortable. He was saying that about that. I said, I like to know, was it men or women or they talking about? Sir, if you were to ask me, you should have fired all their ass. You don't tell me about what you... I'm telling y'all. That's all this shit is new to me. And I'm gonna be fair, maybe I'm not a business owner. I don't know anything about that, but you're not gonna tell me something I didn't have anything to do with. If you don't like it, goddammit, you leave. It's like we tell other folks, when you don't like the way General Motors run the goddamn car line, get off the line and leave. Go create your own car line, General Motors. You don't like them. What someone said in the chat, they didn't have a problem with his product. They didn't have a problem receiving the pay from his job. They didn't like the conversation on the post that he posted up. Really, it was just a neutral post. And they gonna tell him, well, I don't like how people are acting in your chat. And he felt, I'm telling you, a lot of folks are way better than me. Do y'all hear me? A lot of people are way better than me, because I'm telling you, the nerve of some people. And it's probably, again, the example of black men feeling the need or the pressure to give in to the black gynocracy or the black matriarchy. And we don't have to do that. And we're going to have to stop doing that. You're going to get down and bless my pimping, bitch. You ain't going to tell me what the fuck to do. And I'm going to tell you something. See, people say what they want to say about the decade of pimping and hoeing. It had its bad thing, but whatever. One thing about it, this kind of behavior wasn't going on when pimps were on patrol. You hear me? Yeah. That was wrong with them. They had no boot to their ass or a sock to the eye, goddammit, since 1982 when crack came in and killed pimping. Now, Rico, are you advocating violence against women? No. I'm just speaking to how this thing has gotten out of control. They think they can just come up to any man and say anything, even when it's his shit. And that kind of that was just weird. And so I just want to say to the black feminists, stop using Dr. Cosby as your personal sexual assaulter. He didn't sexually assault you. He ain't, nor those ugly ass white women. Those people made a deal. And I call them renegers on a deal. Hell, y'all came in there, yeah, Bill, hit me one of them Benadryls, hit me one of them Quaaludes. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Shout out to Just Joe Brown. That was going on. Now, are there victims of people dropping Mickeys? Are there victims of people dropping Mickeys? Of course. But based on, and another thing, all these folks, he did it. Did you even read the goddamn deposition? I read it, and I know exactly what he said. He did it. And it's a shame you have to constantly repeat to people. He said, look, we were there, we were chilling. I asked him, what would y'all like? He said, give me one of them Quaaludes, Bill. Because it's just like when chicks pop them mollies. You know, hit them X pills. They already know what time it is. They finna, shit. Just like when they smoke blunts or drink shit. They trying to turn up. And that's how they turned up back in the 60s and 70s. Hell, even in the 80s, they pop them pills, hit the Quaaludes. Yeah, Bill, can they understand? Go ahead, go and talk to an ex-hippie. So, yeah, man, we hit those pills, man. It made the sexual experience, whoa. And then we gonna act like Dr. Cobbin he wasn't an attractive man when he was young, and white women flocked all around him. Why we gonna act like the man wasn't famous? Why we just gonna knock all that out? Hell, even today we see dudes who are famous, and white women and all kinds of women are trying to get at their penis as a way of getting to their pockets. Come on, somebody. So we just gonna act like Bill Cosby, never famous and never a handsome man. Go look at some old pictures of Dr. Cosby. Athletically fit, tall, acting on TV. He had money. He was, I remember I talked about this old white guy named Tom Likas, who was on the radio, and they tried to call him ugly and all that because he was getting on women's ass, teaching young men. He said, "You're teaching these young men," these little old chicks to be mad, "you're teaching these men how to pump and dump girls and treat them like trash." And no, sweetheart, I teach young men how to get laid. Oh, I love that. If y'all go on YouTube, check out Tom Likas. Pick any title that's under there. Leykis. And man, he does a great thing on single mothers. Whew. And so, before I heard Minister Jab, I heard Tom Likas when he talked about single mothers. Because the white man had to start that out. And then the black dudes came on later on. A lot of the stuff these white dudes, because they lived it every day. Black men weren't talking like this yet until later on, because we were already under the spell of, the black woman is God. I don't care what you say, I don't care what she does, whatever. You ain't got but one mama. See, we was under that spell. We didn't think we can tell the truth about black women's behavior until the last 10 years or so, 12 years ago. Maybe, let me see, how long Tommy Sotomayor been out? Like 13, 14 years? He was one of the first black dudes on the internet to bring that conversation. And now it is kind of spread. Other brothers are finding, yeah, you know what? This did happen to me. These women were like this. They are like this. But Tom Likas and other white men like him, they're the ones who started off because they didn't have to worship their mothers. They didn't have to. They weren't forced. And they became annoyed by their white women's bad behavior. So he was telling it. And so here we are stuck around here still kissing these politically evolved, economically evolved, educationally evolved black chicks. We're still acting like a bunch of dirt farmers. No, black men evolve. I'm not saying, and see, when you're involved, when we evolve as black men, they'll respect us. See, they talk this shit because we're still under that old, well, okay, the Bible say honor thy mother, but they leave out the honor thy father part. And so black boys, under the past 50 years, have been raised under the apron of black women. That's why you don't have too many black men other than on YouTube telling the truth about a lot of black women's poor behavior. And then without feeling sense of guilt and unapologetically. And guess what? Those dudes still get a lot of women. Because when y'all get to the core of what a woman is, a woman likes a man who can take charge. A woman likes a man who stands up for himself, stands up, period, and most importantly, stands up to her. Y'all dudes right here, raised by these women, and these women raising these sons to be the women, to be the men that they would never get no coochie to. That's how they ended up with your dad who ran off. Come on, y'all. They don't like soft, simple gentlemen. The gentlemen have his purpose, like free meals, open out, they get a coochie to the dude like, bitch, what's up, bend over, man, face down, ass up, what's up, little mama? You ain't got to act like that, you ain't got to talk to me like that, man, shut the F up. And that's who, and these your doctors, your lawyers, your nurses, your librarians, all these chicks that throw all that stuff in your face and you buy it like it's a goddamn quality. The thug or the dude don't give a fuck. Come on. And of course, let me say not all, but y'all know we've moved in an era. And y'all dudes still around here playing games. Re-educate your boys. Get them caught up on the politics of sex and gender. There's politics behind this shit now. And y'all still teaching your boys to be goddamn gentlemen. And that's why they're losing. That's why they're hurting themselves. That's why their low self-esteem is so bad. That's why they're still angry at other men, because they haven't been taught to be a whole man. And women like whole men. And whole men don't apologize to a bunch of whiny chicks. But if you're trying to sell people something, I understand, because Walmart, Kroger, all the corporations do it all the time. They don't give a fuck. As soon as they do some dumb shit, they're like, oh, I want to apologize, blah, blah, blah. Then they go on and continue getting your $4 million every month. $500 million every 3 months. So I get it. I understand. Really, I do. But I need, for black men, we're gonna have to step it up, and we need, and our reach needs to go beyond the internet. Needs to be out on the streets teaching the black men, teaching black boys. You set the standard. She's supposed to be blessing your pimping. And even in those of you who are all into the Bible, she is a help meet. She's not your equal. Come on, somebody. But these black feminists, these angry broads, fists all in air, fists pointing at you, but they soften up when white men come around. Isn't that something? Yeah, they'll stand in the face, call the white man a racist, and next thing you know, they accept his $10 billion over 10 years. Woo! I'll tell you can't trust. When they say you can't trust a big button to smile, BBD one line. Woo! And they'll turn on your ass. They number just double agents. Not all, but too many. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about y'all fight for the rights of the people. You fight for the rights to get a Cadillac commercial and a movie deal and a book deal off of the backs of black men and throwing out a race car all day long. While black men around here scratching our head like, well, where do I go next? What do I do next? Killing each other in the streets. But we're not educating them on their manhood and what they need to be doing. You know. But I can't knock the people like the Derrick Jacksons. They figured it out. Give them what they want, and they want their egos stroked. Sell them all kinds of books and lies. You know, you got to be a hell of a dude to tell a woman the truth, and she still give you her money. Still give you her loyalty by telling her the truth about herself and about the world. You a hell of a dude. And that's how more black men need to be telling the truth. Yeah. These dudes right here scared to tell the truth. They scared to, what, she ain't gonna give you no sex? Well, you should be lucky. There's less STDs and less bastard kids out of wedlock. So, come on. Y'all, let's do this. Let's get our boys focused, our young men focused. Yeah. We got to do better. And so, having said that, you know, black feminists, you know, you so worried about, you know, always jumping on anything that the white liberal media puts out. Dr. Cosby says he's a sexual deviant. Black men, you have to be careful of them. They're sexual deviants. And so, back to the brother from Urban Intellectual. Shout out to the brother, and I appreciate that, Urban Intellectual. He brought up, yeah, we have to admit that there is sexual assault that goes on in the black community. We've been talking about that for the longest. But we're not going to use Dr. Cosby as the symbol for sexual assault in the black community when he has not sexually assaulted anyone in the black community. His accusers were white women. Now, if white women get to yelling that stuff, well, you know, I guess the accusers were white, but black women, stop trying to align yourself with white women. Their cause is not your cause. They got this. They don't need your help. I only said when they need numbers to get votes. You know how Democratic Party do black people. You know, they don't need us. They don't throw no services or nothing our way. You know, to build up community or education until it's time for elections. And then all of a sudden they real cognizant about race and what people don't have and how poor people are. And then, you know, all they do is want to say, we have to go for the working poor. Can I ask y'all a question just off the bat? What the hell are women? What the hell is people of color and women? Or women and minorities? What the hell is that? Are they trying to slick some other broken English by us, and like we never took Edna B. Davis for English in 9th grade at Cypress Junior High School in North Memphis? Shout out to Springdale, North Memphis. Women of color. No, he said people of color and women. What the hell are they? So, what color are these women? I'm telling y'all, they play games every day. Listen to the language and feminist rhetoric. That's what black boys need to be learning, along with other things. Shout out to trades and coding. Shout out to Kwame Brown. As well as a lot of stuff. We just need to teach black boys other than rap lyrics and dribbling the basketball and chucking the football. You teach them to build this up. And then you'll see the quality of men in Queen. Because there's a lot of good black dudes out here, but, you know, sisters don't want them until they get in their 30s and 40s when they're all used up and hagged out. If you see a lot of young black men, and guess what, believe it or not, and you don't believe it because the numbers are real. 94% of black men are married to black women. So I don't understand why they keep talking about, these black men, they marrying out. No, they're not. Only 6% out of 100? And the rest of the black men are married to black women. So yeah, black men, stop letting them say that. And you sisters that know better, don't let these heifers say that. That's not true. No, we're really dedicated to each other. But we let outsiders get all in our business and tell us how to think towards each other. That's the part that pisses me off. And these black feminists need to be vetted and need to be dealt with. And now we need more scholars in these academic spaces to shut these heifers down. Because they kind of rule it. They rule a lot of these academic spaces. This makes me want to plan harder. Good morning, Mary Max. Oh, I left it at home. When I go jogging, it's too heavy to carry that water bottle. She said, where's that water bottle? As soon as I'm done with this live, I'm going to run home and I'm going to guzzle it down. There need to be more brothers with PhDs or even master's degrees who've written research articles to combat all this feminist theory. Because a lot of women, so they can hardly get dates on Friday night, so they studied. And there are a lot of them in these academic spaces spewing this poison about black men and patriarchy and misogyny war and sexism. Again, y'all point out, find me an attractive woman who uses the word patriarchy, sexism, misogyny. Find me an attractive woman. Again, if you do, you ain't gonna find but 1 out of 100,000. So, attractive women don't use those words when they're describing men, because their only issue with men is, which phone number do I accept this weekend? Which one do I allow me to take me out on a date? Allowed to take me out on a date. That's for pretty women and sweet women. That's their only issue. These old angry, out of shape, beat up, physically and mentally beat up, battered broads, they still want male attention. That's why they lash out, because they want us to talk back to them. Well, I'm going to talk back to you, bitch. So do you get my attention? Can't stand the feminists. They mean nobody no good. They don't. And all the sweet women, Dewey. Good morning, Dewey. And all the sweet women, y'all stand up, man, with us against these broads. They're terrible people. They're being funded by the liberal left. They're being funded to break down their own family. And they're terrible people. They're disgusting people. And again, let me go back to them trying to use Dr. Cosby, their own sexually assaulters. Their own personal sexual assaulters. See, let's go back, since the brother brought up, yeah, we have sexual assault that goes on in the black family. That is true. But what the hell does Dr. Cosby got to do with that? See, you mentioned Dr. Cosby because it brings headlines. It brings a little clout for you. You can get a platform. But how come you don't talk about that uncle that sexual assaulted you, black feminists? Talk about your mama boyfriend, helper. That's who you need to be putting on blast. Talk about your stepbrother. Talk about that dude as a friend of the family. Talk about that little lesbian auntie that touched on the little girls too. Why y'all got to try to use celebrity people when they ain't got nothing to do with you? Put those motherfuckers on blast. But you haven't. You know why? Because you go to Thanksgiving and look in their face every year. You sit up with Christmas, you go to celebration, you be mad, but you don't say nothing about it because your family told you keep our business and you don't be putting our business in the street. That's who you need to be putting on blast. He's not your sexual assault, your personal, private, convenient sexual assaulter. You go and get that teacher, whoever it was. Now he reminded you, no, goddamn it, when you go home every year for holidays, y'all see him there with his drunk ass. Y'all see her there with her female roommate of 30 years. Y'all know who it is. And also, you want to confront somebody, go confront your grandma. Because everybody knows that everybody's grandmothers know who the perverts, who the weirdos, who everybody is that she gave birth to, that's living in the house, touching on all the girls. So he's not your personal sexual assaulter when it's convenient for you, black feminists. And black dudes, get some sense. Stop letting these tramps tell you like you're a sick dog, get him, get him. You know, they can't threaten you with anything except for not giving you sex. And y'all know 80% of black kids are born out of wedlock. Y'all know black coochie is easy to get. Yeah, like black babies easy to get from them too. Oh, Rico, you're terrible. Why are you saying this about black chicks? Because we have them in our race. And everybody that got good sense know I'm not talking about all black women. But I don't have to say that to intelligent people, do I? Hell. Gotta stop acting like these people aren't a problem. They're a thorn in our side. They're the ticks on the ass of the black community. Come on, somebody. Yeah, it's easy to talk about white folks and racists and all that. That's ongoing. But when are we going to point out this saboteurs in our own race? And they include these feminists and these ratchets and these folks that produce these old mean-ass, angry-ass children. Those are the folks we can get on their ass as well. And I'm going to keep talking about black feminists. They're disgusting people. All they do is do master's bidding. They're nothing but high-paid bed wenches. High-paid bed wenches. They're mammies with a degree. They're disgusting. Trying not to cuss over these chicks. And so, yeah, it's not because I'm an admirer, a fan of Dr. Cosby. His legacy is intact as far as I'm concerned. And I'm seeing that they're putting a lot of his shows back on there, Different World, Cosby Show. They shot a lot of clips on Facebook. And I'm glad, because he should have never left in the first place. But I understand they had to do a little, a little control there. And get people got all riled up because the medias are great when it comes to that. And it's cool. But now he's back because even those who claim to be staunch Dr. Cosby haters, they look at the Cosby Show and say, you know what? We're not going to let them take this man's legacy. We're not going to do that. Not going to do it, and I'm not going to do it. Yeah. So Rico, so it matters to you if it's just white women and look, I don't want nobody sexually assaulted. Nobody. And I want to, and because I know the results of that. I've talked to clients for years, and it's not a good result unless, especially if they don't get counseling, the counseling they deserve. So a lot of people go their whole lives without counseling and in some form of treatment. Good morning, Venus. She says, I'm not going to drag Dr. Cosby under the bus, but don't take sexual assault lightly. Date rape is real. I already went over that, Venus. And he never raped anybody on a date. Dr. Cosby never raped anybody on a date. Those are all volunteer. These were grown women who said, yeah, Bill, if you read the deposition, he never raped anybody. If we want to accuse Dr. Cosby of anything, let's accuse him of being a philanderer on his wife. Mary Mack said, you have to listen to the interview with his personal spokesperson, that's Andrew Wyatt. You will hear how that campaign against him, how they all got started. You know what? I'm going to put it on today, Mary Max. And it's on, for those of you who haven't heard that interview, it's go on to Dr. Boyce Watkins on YouTube. Go to Dr. Boyce Watkins on YouTube. Boyce Watkins and Andrew Wyatt is talking to him. And we have to cut the bullshit. And I'm going to listen to that finally. I'm going to put it on as I, have breakfast and stuff. I'm going to listen to it. And I'm getting over this rather quickly. And I don't like the date rape. I don't like any of that associated with his situation. But yes, Venus, date rape is real. And I have a conversation about that. Gavin Richards said, good morning, Gavin. He says, he was no different than Frank Sinatra or John F. Kennedy or Mick Jagger. No different as in, yeah, he was famous. Just like those men, he had position. And everybody knows that women just they throw panties on the stage when we just singing a song. And women have been trying to get to men of high status forever. If you're a high school athlete, women throwing panties at you. High school girls are throwing panties at you. Hell, if you're a dope boy, so, as in womanizers. Womanizers? Gavin, what you talking about? There's no such thing as a womanizer unless they lying. That's not, what's a womanizer? A womanizer, let me tell you something, because I had to define that. Let me get back to that other statement. Let me address that womanizing part. See, a womanizer is one who lies to the woman to get some coochie. And you go from woman to woman lying. That's not a woman, that's the womanizer. But a player who, he tell little mama, look, I ain't trying to have no girlfriend. I got a wife, or this and that. That's not a womanizer. See, the womanizer doesn't give the woman a choice. And what's wrong with being a poon hound, Gavin? Goddamn, if the poon is there to get hunted, and he don't lie after he runs up on her, you know, I know we men got to really reprogram ourselves. You know, you only call a poon hound either by two people, women who are mad that she couldn't keep the player, or the guys who are hating because the dude can get so much pussy. So we got to stop this. Stop this. Stop with this stuff. That's a lot of feminine, female articulation. Female hating on men. I guess because I grew up with pimping. One thing I learned, I never hated on the next man's hustle. I never hated on it. Because I saw how women volunteered to do what they wanted to do. So we got to stop that, Gavin. He said, oh, wait a minute now, you ain't got to cuss, Gavin. Gavin said, I didn't say shit was wrong with it, but he was married. Yeah, okay, Gavin. You ain't got to cuss. What I'm saying is, you're right, we agree. But even as a married man, doesn't make him a womanizer, because all of them knew Dr. Everybody knew about Mrs. Camille. So he wasn't a womanizer then either. He was a famous man that women wanted to get at to. And they both made a consented choice to get at each other. Come on, somebody. He said, not feminist words. Yeah, they are. Those are feminist words, Gavin. Those are. And I know. It's tough. But we have to, that stuff has to be deprogrammed out of us. You know, thing like men. You know, the power of choice. They said they did that. That's right, bro. Yeah, we have to get that stuff out of our heads as men.